Lady Louise Windsor, the eldest child of Prince Edward and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, has paid her respects to her late grandmother together with her younger brother, James, Viscount Severn. The 18-year-old stood alongside her brother as their parents paid their own respects to the Queen. The pair stood in 2 rows at the side of Westminster Hall as the new king and other senior royals bowed and curtsied to the coffin. The rows included Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice and their husbands, Zara and Mike Tyndall, Lord Freddie Windsor and Princess Michael of Kent. Lady Louise watched on as her parents bowed to the Queen's coffin before, in a poignant moment, the young royal led her brother, 14, to pay their own respects in a rare moment away from their parents. Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn honored the Queen away from their parents. Image, Getty Images. Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn. Image, Getty Images. Royal fans in tears as they pay first tribute to the Queen at Westminster Hall. Video. The first royal fans to pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II as she lies in state in Westminster Hall for the next 5 days have been pictured stifling sobs. People were pictured streaming into Westminster Hall, having queued up for days to be the first people to see the coffin. Read more and watch a video of the first mourners here. The Queen left Buckingham Palace for the last time this morning as she was carried to Westminster Hall, where she will lie in state until Monday. King Charles III led the procession behind the Queen's coffin, flanked by the late monarch's other children, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Behind the King were the Queen's grandsons in a line, Peter Phillips, the Duke of Sussex and the Prince of Wales, who were followed by the late monarch's son-in-law Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, the Duke of Gloucester, the Queen's cousin, and her nephew the Earl of Snowdon. Following the royals, members of the Commons, including the new Prime Minister, filed into Westminster Hall to honour the Queen. Read more. Emotional Meghan appears to wipe away tears as Queen lying in state. Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn bow to coffin. Image, Getty Images. All you need to know about the Queen's funeral. Key moments. Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral will take place on Monday, September 19 at Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m. Following the state funeral, the coffin will undertake a procession from Westminster Abbey to Wellington Arch, and then on to Windsor. Once at Windsor, the state hearse will undertake a procession to St George's Chapel, Windsor Castle via the Long Walk. A committal service will then take place in St George's Chapel, with the Queen laid to rest at the King George VI Memorial Chapel. Will it be televised? The Queen's funeral service will be televised across BBC One, BBC News, and on BBC iPlayer. Sky News will also broadcast the funeral on its TV channel, Freeview, the Sky News app and via YouTube. Lady Louise Windsor bows to coffin with James, Viscount Severn. Image, Getty Images. Trending. Westminster Hall opened to the public a little after 5 p.m., where a queue around 2.5 miles long will file into the venue to catch a glimpse of the Queen's coffin. Some members of the public are expected to wait for 30 hours should the queue reach its maximum capacity. The Queen will lie in state at Westminster Hall until her state funeral on Monday, expected to take place at Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m. Westminster Abbey holds special meaning for the royal family, as it was where the Queen was coronated in 1953 and where she married Prince Philip in 1947. Don't miss, Royal Air Force pays subtle tribute to Queen Elizabeth II, reveals Sarah Ferguson missing from Queen's lying in state as Andrew attends. Insight. Biden phones King Charles and shares memories of late Queen. Report. Sophie Wessex and Prince Edward pay respects to the Queen. Image, Getty Images. The Queen will lie in state at Westminster Hall until her state funeral on Monday, expected to take place at Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m. Heads of state from around the world will gather for the event, along with her close family and members of royal families from across Europe, many of whom were blood relatives of the Queen. Following the funeral, Her Majesty will be taken to Windsor for a final family ceremony at a chapel in Windsor Castle.